Yo, what's going on, world? Aaron Raglan back for another one. Today, I wanted to jump on that Khelani Folded music trend and show y'all how I did a cover remix. With this remix, I wanted to find a really dope artist to collaborate with. Looked on TikTok and I found official AriB. Shout out to AriB, her vocals were really dope. First of all, what I did was I hearted the video on TikTok from Miss AriB. So next thing I need to do is get these vocals into my DAW. I went to VB Audio Cable. This is the website where you could download VB Audio Cable. Since I'm on Windows, this is where I want to download the files from. In addition to that, I want a driver like ACO for all so I can control the audio cable as much as I can. This is the website that you could go to. Once you have the VB audio cable downloaded, once you have ACO for all, you want to go into your DAW of choice. This is Ableton. I actually already downloaded everything, but I'm just going to show you how it works. With Ableton, I go into options, preferences, then I go into ACO, change the driver type to ACO. I'm going to hit audio device. I'm going to change it to ACO. And then I'm going to go to hardware setup. What I want to do is I want to make sure that the VB audio cable has the button turned on from the in and it is coming out through the speaker. Now that that's set up, we be able to start to record those vocals in a little bit into the DAW. Before actually recording, I listened to AriB sing. While I was listening to her sing, I was counting out the beats per minute. With Khelani's Folded, with this cover, we know that this is 4/4 time, meaning you have 4 beats in the measure, and the main value of each measure is a quarter note, 4 beats. You would count 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 1 bar. 2, 2, 3, 4. That's the second bar. 3, 3, 3, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, and so on and so forth. When I counted the beats per minute, what I also made sure to do to make it the most accurate is counting the beats for a full minute. In this particular case, unfortunately, I don't have a stopwatch, so counted the beats out before I started recording this video. The BPM that I got with this cover is 60 BPM regularly, or if you want to double the tempo so you could play it at halftime, you could just make it 120. So even though the audio was already pre-recorded, I'm just going to show you real quick what you would need to do in Ableton in order to actually get the vocals in the DAW. First of all, I just doubled that track just to make it easier for myself. Deleted the vocals that were already pre-recorded. As you can see, just hovering my arrow over this channel 5, change this to auto, arm, and press the record button on that channel. And I'm gonna take off this loop button, drag this to the beginning, and then the thing that you want to do before you actually hit record is make sure VB cable input is selected so the computer can actually hear the audio. Now we're gonna press record, and then we're gonna go ahead and go back to Miss AriB. Gonna hit play. Might not be able to hear it now because the audio input is on ACO for all and not my actual interface. I have audio playing out. All right, so we got that recorded. And let's play them vocals back with a metronome.
So come pick up your phone.
Okay, so y'all hopefully heard that some sections she wasn't really staying on a particular beat, and it's kind of hard to do doing acapella for anybody. What we're gonna do now is we're gonna use Ableton's warp feature to go ahead and clean this up. With this next part, I'm just pretty much pointing out what I did since it was already done. This section here, the beginning, sounds pretty clean. The only thing that I did do, first of all, I pretty much lined the start of this section at bar 2, just give myself a little space before we start. And I know, and hopefully you notice, the come pick up your close part is kind of like a pickup measure going into the downbeats. Once you select the audio, this is what you're gonna see in Ableton. The sample, different options, but the main thing we're focusing on is this warp button. To enable and disable the warp button, you just click this button, and I'm hovering over with my arrow. You set your warp markers with this arrow as well. You just point it where you want it, and you could also delete it if you just hit backspace. For this part of the vocal, I did change this right here. The segment BPM is where you could change the BPM if you want to. So I kind of slowed it down just a little bit to make it fit a little bit more with this particular vocal, since it was not on beat that much at times. And once we got to this other section right here, I started out putting another warp marker here, but at the same time, if you pull the warp markers too much and you stretch the vocal too much, that might cause the audio to glitch. I just split the audio in that case, did a more manual move. I also slowed down this section to 114. For the next section, I created another channel. With this particular section, I actually increased the segment BPM because she was tending to slow down at that point. With this last section, sounded pretty good. I went ahead, added another split manually, slowed that down just slightly, and put it in what I believe is the right spot. We're gonna go ahead, listen to the whole entire thing.
Come pick up your clothes, I have them folded. Meet me at my door while it's still open. I know it's getting cold out, but it's not frozen. So come pick up your clothes, I have them folded.
Next thing that we're gonna start to do, since we got everything on beat with the vocals, is just start to play around. Went through audio effects on my DAW, go down to reverb, give this a little sense of space. For anybody who is new to Ableton, I actually got an older version, Live 9. You could go check out these presets in here. One that I actually liked a little bit was Oil Barrel. Put those on both tracks, and we're gonna listen to it real quick.
Come pick up your clothes, I have them folded. Meet me at my door while it's still open.
I thought that reverb was sounding kind of good to me. Didn't have it all the way 100% wet, but I decided to turn it down to 44%. Also decided to play with a little delay. Got a little simple delay. Pretty much have it on sync mode, locking it into a certain time. With the track, have it set on as quarter notes on the left, and it's a little different from the right side of the monitor.
Come pick up your clothes, I have them folded. Meet me at my door, it's still open.
Pretty much did the same thing with the delay. Took the wetness down to 44%, feedback to 26, just so it's not doing too much. I might dial it back just maybe a little more. For the last part of this video, I'm gonna play along with AriB to get a feel for the key I'm playing in.